Hi guys, this is Manas and I'm back with a new tutorial on projection of solids. So guys, this time around I've picked up an object that is going to be a hexagonal pyramid. So why waste time? Let's get started with the problem itself. And it goes like this. A hexagonal pyramid base 25 mm side and axis 55 mm long has one of its slant edges on the ground. A plane containing that edge and the axis is perpendicular to the HP and inclined at 45 degrees to the VP. Draw its projections when the apex is nearer the VP than the base. Alright, whole lot of data have been provided to us. So let's write down the name of the object, which in this case is a hexagonal pyramid. And secondly, the dimensions are in the form of base edge 25 mm and height or axis length as 55 millimeters. So let me show you. This is the base edge 25 millimeters, and if you have this hexagon and look at its center, it would be somewhere here, and from here we're going to go up ahead towards this apex and it's going to work out as 55 millimeters. Alright, and there is this condition given to us that one of its slant edges is in absolute contact with the ground. Now guys, you can clearly see that there are as many as 6 slant edges, and out of those there is one slant edge which is in absolute contact with the ground or the horizontal plane. So that's going to be our condition, and it should reflect perfectly in the construction that we are about to commence. Alright, so there is this one more condition that the axis, a plane containing that edge and the axis. So there is going to be this edge which is in contact with the HP, and along with that edge we have the axis also, and both of them are going to be lying on a plane. Okay, this is not HP or VP, this is a different sort of a plane. Okay, and that plane in fact is going to be perpendicular to the HP as well as inclined at an angle of 45 degree. So what the condition says that phi is equal to 45 degree, that is the angle made with the vertical plane. So you can also say that the axis makes an angle of 45 degree, or you can also say that the grounded slant edge makes an angle of 45 degree. Alright, so guys, stay tuned, and in the next section I'll show you how the object has been really kept with respect to the HP or VP. So guys, this in front of you is what you call a hexagonal pyramid. As you can clearly see, the base of this particular pyramid is resembling that of a hexagon. This is what you call a regular hexagon, and all the 6 sides are equal to each other. Now, each side is having a dimension of 25 millimeters, and at the same time, this axis height, this height over here is 55 millimeters. And what we need to do is, we need to ensure that one of its slant edges remains grounded. That means it remains in absolute contact with the horizontal plane. So out of the 6 slant edges you see over here, these are the slant edges. Alright, so out of the 6 slant edges, one slant edge is such that it will remain in absolute contact with the horizontal plane. So this is what we need to do in step number 2. Hence, for step number 1, the initial assumption is going to be this. This is going to be our initial assumption for step number 1. This is going to be step number 2, step number 1, and you can clearly see that this particular hexagonal pyramid is resting with its base on the horizontal plane, and hence the true shape of the base is going to be seen from the top. Alright, so this is exactly what you're going to observe from the top. So you have to begin by drawing this kind of a hexagon below the XY line. Okay, so this is going to be a step number 1. Then accordingly, this triangle can be made in the front view. So this is step number 1. This over here is step number 2. And finally in step number 3 we have this. Okay, so in this you will see that this axis is making a certain angle with the vertical plane, and that angle is 45 degrees. So this angle over here which you see right now is going to be seen from the top, and this angle has a magnitude of 45 degrees. So this is going to be step number 3. This is step number 2, and this is going to be step number 1. I'm going to reiterate it again. Step number 1, step number 2, and this is step number 3. So these are the steps which you need to follow. So let's head over to the construction. Thank you for watching. Okay guys, now that you have seen how the object is really kept, now let's start by making its top view. And before that, what we're going to do is we're going to make an XY line. Alright, so this is the reference line above which we'll be making the front view, and below which we're going to be making the top view. So we're going to begin by making this top view, and as I've already shown you, let's start to make it. And let me make a small reference line with respect to which I'm going to go 25 steps, 25 millimeters rather. Okay, and this is going to be 60 degrees. Alright, now please watch this carefully. The same step has to be done down below. This is again going to be 25 millimeters, again at an angle of 60 degrees, but in the clockwise sense. So what happens, hexagonal or a hexagonal geometrical shape has internal angles of 120 degrees. So 60 above and 60 below, this total is going to be 120 degrees. So the next step is going to be go 25 steps straight. Alright, then from this point we're going to go 25 steps straight. Fine. Alright, the next thing or the best thing to do right now is to extend this line, and with this guy as the center, alright, we're gonna put up an arc of 25 millimeters. I'm gonna show you how that can be done. Okay, so this is how you need to put up an arc. Alright, now this intersection point will give you this. Alright, and then join this one with this over here. Let me make it very precise. That's it. Alright, now let's delete this. Let's delete this also. And now this is what you call the top view of the pyramid. And we're gonna join this and this, these opposite points also. So this is exactly how the hexagonal pyramid looks like when it is viewed from the top. Okay, so these are the 6 corners, A, B, C, D, E, F, and this is the what you call the apex, and apex can be written down as O. Let's write them down. Alright guys, now that we have successfully created the top view, all the corners have been given names, this apex also has been given names. Now the next thing to do is to look at this object right from the front, and it's going to look something like this. Please watch carefully. Let me draw these so-called projector lines until it intersects this XY line somewhere here from this point, and from the axis we're going to go here and from here. Alright, next. Fine. So when you look at this object from the front, you're going to have the axis over here. So let's initially start with the axis, and axis is going to be 55 millimeters long. That's it. That's the axis. Axis has to be drawn a bit differently, so I'm going to use a dash dot line for that. Please watch this. That's it. That's how you need to make an axis. And then we're going to have this. Let's join this, this, and this. That's it. So that's exactly how the object looks like when viewed from the front. Okay, now I'm going to darken this portion. Let me do this quickly, and let me darken this also. Alright, and let me do a few more touches. Okay, so top view also has to be darkened. So this is exactly how the top view would look. Alright, and this height of this axis over here is 55 millimeters. So this is 55 millimeters. So now, so what we're going to do is we will look at this from the front. So this is going to be point A dash. Okay, so when you look at this from over from here, so initially you're going to see point B. So this is going to be B dash, and right behind B we have F. So we're going to write F dash over here. Similarly, we have C dash and E dash at this point, and we have point D dash over here. So let's write them down. Alright guys, that's it. And the next step number 2 is going to be all about making sure that one slant edge is in absolute contact with the horizontal plane. So what we've decided is we're going to keep this slant edge, that is OD, and its corresponding front view is O dash D dash. We're going to make sure that this O dash D dash is in absolute contact with this XY line. Now if this O dash D dash comes into contact with the XY line, then one thing is for sure, that it is grounded or it is in contact with the horizontal plane. Alright, so let's try to do this, and for that what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a point over here randomly at a certain distance. Alright, and then let's say this is over here is representing point T, and the next thing to do is to take an arc, keep one leg of your compass here, other leg of your compass over here, and this distance should be working out as, let me see how much this is approximately 60.4. Alright, so let's go ahead. So what I'll be doing is I'll take this guy as the center, and I'm going to be putting up an arc over here of 60.4. Let me make an arc over here, and this is going to be the new position of point. This is going to be O dash. So we have D, we have O. Let me join both of them by a line. Alright, let me darken this line. Alright, so this O dash D dash has been grounded. Now we're going to have this point A dash somewhere here, but we need to find it eventually. Alright, so for doing so, what I'll do is I'll take this distance. Let me see how much this distance is. Okay, you can take this distance on your compass. This is 50 millimeters. Again the same stuff. Take this guy as center. Again you need to put an arc of 50 millimeters over here. Alright, something like this. Okay, so somewhere along this arc we're gonna find this point A dash. Okay, now the A dash's distance from O dash is going to be Let me check this. This is going to be 60.4 again. Again, with O dash as the center, you have to put one more arc, 60.4, and that's going to be the intersection point, and this is actually point A dash. Alright, now let us join all these three guys. Fine. Let me darken them up. Alright, so the remaining points are, so the point closer to D dash is C dash, E dash, and then we have F dash, B dash, and then we already have A dash. So let's put them. Alright, so the next step to do is, let me see, keep one leg of your compass here, other leg over here. So this is going to be the arc radii 12.5. Alright, fine. So we need to put an arc of 12.5. That's it. So what is this? This is going to be C dash, E dash. Alright, so now we need this guy. Okay, so we're going to take this arc over here. So this arc will be having a radii of 12.5 again. Now with A dash as center, we'll do this 12.5. That's it. So this is going to be point F dash and B dash. Let me do this. Okay, and this is right at the middle. Okay, so what I'll be doing is I'm going to join this rather with this O dash, and this is my axis, and this is going to be dash dot 2. This is going to be dash dot. You can see this clearly, and these lines are going to be dark, so let me join them with O dash, something like this. Watch this carefully. That's it, guys, and now let me darken this. Alright, so we have created this step 2's front view, in which we have ensured that one slant edge is in absolute contact with the ground or with the horizontal plane. Now the next step is to look at this object from the top. Okay, now we are going to create this corresponding top view, and let's see how this object looks like. Okay, and for that, this is a small construction that I'm going to do. Let me draw this line, an absolutely horizontal line. You guys can do so with the help of a mini drafter or a ruler scale also. Let me draw this vertical line. So this is my boundary in which the corresponding top view is going to be created. So let me drop vertical lines down below, something like this. Alright, that's it. Alright, one more to go. Fine. That's it. Now let me produce these so-called horizontal lines from all these points, from the left of your screen to the right of your screen. That's it. Nobody's left. All the points have been worked out. Now you can clearly see that this is O. Okay, so this is the horizontal for O, this is the vertical of O. So both of them are going to intersect here. So this is going to be your point O. Similarly, you can work out the remaining points also. Let me, for example, show you one more point. Let's say we want to work out point B. Okay, so this is the horizontal for B. Okay, and this is the vertical for B. So B is going to lie somewhere here. Alright, so and obviously the only point left is point D. This is vertical for D and this is horizontal. Both of them intersect here. So that's point D for you. Now let's do this. You can clearly see that this line is visible from the top. Let me show you very clearly. This line is visible from the top. This in fact is not a line, but this is the hexagon itself. Okay, so a hexagonal shape is going to be seen from the top, not exactly a regular hexagon, but still we need to draw that. So let's join D with C, C and C2. What was this? This is B, A, this is F, E, and back to where we started. This is going to be D again. Now let's darken this. Alright, now next thing to do is to further you need to predict which slant edges are visible. So this A dash O dash slant edge for sure is going to be visible. Let's darken it. It's going to be something like this. Let me do this again. Alright, then this slant edge also is going to be visible. This slant edge from B dash to O dash and from F dash to O dash. Let us do this, and from B dash to O dash and F dash to O dash. So this is exactly how the hexagonal pyramid would look from the top. Okay, now there are a few slant edges which will not be visible in fact. So what we're going to do is, please watch this carefully. So there is going to be a slant edge from T to O. Okay, and for that, what I'm going to do is, this is going to be only this much portion is visible, and for that I'm going to do this with a hidden line for that. Okay, so this is going to be your hidden line. Let me simply write this. Alright, let me further make these. That's it. Okay, so this is exactly how the object looks when viewed from the top, and this is going to be again a hidden line. Alright, so that's exactly how the hexagonal pyramid look when one of its slant edges is resting on the ground. Okay, fine. So this is the corresponding top view, and in the step 3 we need to make sure that the plane containing the edge, we're speaking of the edge which is grounded and the axis is perpendicular to the HP and inclined at 45 degrees to the VP. Alright, so one thing is for sure, that this edge over here, this DO edge, is surely going to be making an angle of 45 degrees with the vertical plane. And for that, if DO is making an angle of 45 degrees, then this edge over here is also going to make an angle of 45 degrees. This is also going to make an angle of 45 degrees. So what we need to do is, we need to recreate this figure over here, making sure that DO makes 45 degrees with the vertical plane. That can only be seen from the top. So what I'll be doing is, let me enclose this in a rectangle. That's it. I've enclosed this in a rectangle. I'll create a rectangle over here. Alright, and I'm going to make sure that this, since this is DO, you can watch this clearly, this is DO and this is also an edge. Okay, so if DO is at an angle of 45 degrees, then one thing is for sure, this rectangle, this side of the rectangle will also be at an angle of 45 degrees. But there is one more thing that we need to ensure, and that is this: when the apex is nearer the VP than the base. So while recreating this top view, you need to make sure that this apex over here, this O, is nearer to the VP, that it is nearer to this XY line. Okay, and let me rotate this by an angle of 45 degrees. It's going to something look like this, and let me shift this slightly towards the right. Now that's okay for you. That's pretty much okay. Alright, so guys, this is going to be point O for us. Alright, let me put, this is going to be point O, alright, somewhere at the center, and we have point F, we have point E. Let's work them out. This is working out as 44.9. Similarly for point this also, for B also, it's going to be 44.9. alright, 44.9. so again, with this guy is center and with an arc of 44.9 as radius. Alright, 44.9. That's it. And we need to repeat this step again from here. This is again going to be 44.9. Alright, so this is point F and this is point B. Alright, now let's see how this point E can be worked out. As far as point E is concerned, again we need to take an arc. So let's take an arc from this side. So this is working out as, let's see how much it is, 5.2. Alright, same radii arc is going to be for C also, 5.2. Alright, 5.2. That's it. Again with this as center, 5.2. That's it. So guys, this is going to be point C. Alright, and this is going to be point E, and this is D at the center. You can place a center point over here, and this is going to be point D. Now let's move further. There is still something left, I guess. Okay, point A has to be worked out, and for that what we're going to do is, let me simply draw a line starting from O until we reach D. Okay, and somewhere along this line, this OD line you see, we have point A also. So let's see how much this is going to work out, and this is going to be somewhere 39.7. So we need to take an arc of radius 39.7 again. Arc of radius 39.7. That's it. So we have an arc, and this is point A. Alright. Now again we need to darken this line from F to A and then back to B. Alright. Move from A to O also. You can see this is also dark, and hence I have made this dark as well. Alright. And few more steps. This line over here, hidden line, this hidden line, this hidden line. Alright, so let's do this. Okay, so we kept one edge of the rectangle at 45 degrees, and eventually this OD also came at an angle of 45 degrees. Alright, so let's move ahead and let's look at this object from the front. So this is going to be the arrow, and let's have the final front view of this. Okay, and for that, let's start from the extreme right. We're going to reach here. Alright, start from here. It's going to be, that's it. Let's have other points also. Alright, horizontal lines are done. Let's work out vertical lines. Starting from this point, it's going to end up over here. Alright guys, now the only thing left is to put up these points. So this is the horizontal for O dash, and this is the vertical, so it's gonna intersect somewhere here. Okay, similarly you can work out all the points. This is the vertical for E, okay, and this is the horizontal for E. Alright, so this is gonna be point E for us. Only one point is left, that's point A, and A is going to lie along this horizontal line. Let's see exactly where it's going to lie, somewhere here. Fine, now let's join all these points in proper sequence. Alright, so when we were watching this from the front, this hexagon was visible. Okay, so this is the hexagon from the top, and this is how exactly this hexagon would look from the front. Alright, now you see this edge BO, when you look at this, edge BO is visible, edge CO also will be visible from the front. So let us darken them. BO will also be visible. Then obviously one thing is for sure, that this D dash O dash will also be visible. Okay, and the remaining slant edges are to be done with the help of a hidden line. Let us do that quickly. Okay, so that's the final front view. So that was all from my side guys, and if you believe that this video tutorial has added value to your knowledge, then guys do recommend this channel to your friends so that all of us can benefit. And if you have any doubts or queries, do write them down in the comment section below. I'll be very happy to answer them, and I'll try to respond in the best possible way and as quickly as possible. So this is Manas Patnaik signing off. Take care, have a great day, and keep drawing.